Foundation paper piecing is one of the most accurate ways to make quilt blocks. If you've ever struggled to make a traditional quilt block with getting your points accurate, well, this completely changes everything. So let me show you how it's done.
Welcome to the Secret Path, Pattern Poole's 2026 Mystery Quilt Experience, where we're creating a quilt-as-you-go quilt using appliqué and foundation paper piecing inspired by European tiles. If you're sewing along with us, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. And if you've just discovered this episode, you're more than welcome to stay and enjoy the process. There is so much to learn. If you'd like to make this quilt with us and our wonderful international community, you can join the full course experience through our website, where you'll find all the course notes and step-by-step guidance for each part.
For the Secret Path quilt, we're starting with this gorgeous star block, and it's made with an FPP template that you'll find in your course notes, and it looks like this. You're probably wondering, how does this make an entire block? Well, this template is what we call a unit, and when it's complete, it looks like this. And you make a total of 4 units, join them together and add your borders, quilt it, and that's how easy it is to achieve. So go ahead and print out one template and measure the 1-inch test box. Once you're happy with that, print out 3 more. You will notice on this template that there are numbers and letters, so you work in numerical and alphabetical order. The letters equal the line you sew on, and the numbers equal the fabric piece that corresponds with that space. Now, there's always more than one way to do something, so for our first FPP tutorial, we're just going to use regular printer paper. Next lesson, we'll show a no-tear method using freezer paper, and in the coming lessons, we'll also show some different papers, maybe some lighter weight. We'll just play around with a few things, but this is a great starting point because everybody has regular printer paper. So the first step is to cut the template out on the broken line. So the broken line gives you a 1/4-inch seam allowance around the edge of the FPP template. I do this using a rotary cutter that I save for paper only. So here's my tip. Whenever I do FPP using regular paper, I trace over all of the lines using a tracing wheel. So what this will do is it enables me to be able to easily see the design on the back of the paper, and also it perforates the paper, so it makes it easier to tear the paper away when the block is complete. So when you do this, make sure that you use either the back of your cutting mat or an old cutting mat, because it will leave marks. And the other thing is to make sure that you trace over the outside lines also. But if you don't have a tracing wheel, just use a thin ruler and hold it against each line and fold back on the line, making creases. And my next tip is to write the numbers on the blank side of the template, because this will help you to position the pieces as we make the FPP unit. It's almost time to sew, but first set up your sewing space. So have an ironing board or an ironing mat with your iron close by. Don't forget a protective mat for your table, a small rotary cutting mat with your ruler and your rotary cutter, and set up your machine with just a general all-purpose thread. I'm just using a neutral color here, and I'm going to insert a size 90/14 needle. So this is a thicker needle than normal, and the reason why we're using a thicker needle is because we want this needle to make large holes in the paper so that it just makes the paper easier to tear away. And the other thing I'm going to set my machine up with is an open toe foot. So an open toe foot will provide clear vision so that you can easily see the lines as you're sewing on them. And another tip, no steam in the iron because it will distort the paper. So here are the fabric pieces ready to make one FPP unit. Something you need to know is that these pieces are all cut slightly larger than required. That's because we trim as we go, just so that our blocks are going to be nice and accurate. The next important thing is that the blank side of the template is actually the right side of our FPP unit. So to get started, take piece number 1, which is a large background triangle, and place it over the number 1 space on the blank side of the template, with the right side of the fabric facing up. So a little trick is to just hold your piece up to the light to make sure that everything's aligned correctly. Ensure the background triangle covers space 1 and it extends over the line by no less than a 1/4 inch for the seam allowance. And you can also see that the fabric is extending past the template just by about 1/8 of an inch. Now hold the fabric in place with 1 flathead pin. Now fold back on line A and trim a 1/4 inch away from the folded edge. So piece number 2 is colour A, and that's a small rectangle. So turn over to the blank side, and there's piece number 2, and take the rectangle and place it right sides together with the edge of the triangle that was just trimmed. Now we're going to hang on to the paper and head to the sewing machine and sew on line A. Before you go to sew, set your stitch length to a short length of 1.8. This is also going to help the paper to tear away when we're at that stage. Now, when you go to sew the line, only sew the distance of the line. Don't sew past it, and start and finish with either an automatic tie-off or a little reverse stitch at the beginning and end of each row. You can now take that pin out, we don't need that anymore, and turn to the blank side, and we're going to open up and press. So smooth that out with your fingers and press. Then flip over to the printed side and make sure that the fabric covers all of space 2, and it should extend past the edge of the paper just by about 1/8 of an inch. Now fold back on line B and trim the fabric away so that you only have 1/4 of an inch seam allowance from the folded edge of the paper. Now turn to the fabric side and just double check, piece number 3 is a background triangle. So we're going to take a smaller background triangle. So place a background triangle, just have it with the right side facing up first of all, and just make sure that this triangle mimics the shape of the triangle on the template. So we can see that's going to be correct. So now we'll take this piece and place it right sides together with the edge just trimmed. Make this lower edge level with the fabric, and it also extends over the paper a little bit there like that. Then we're just going to hang on to the pieces like this, and we're going to head over to the machine to sew on line B. Now sew on line B, and this line just happens to go all the way from the edge to the other edge of the template, so you can sew right across from one side to the other. Now turn to the fabric side and open out that triangle, smooth out the seam with your fingers and press. Now flip the template over to the printed side and just make sure that fabric 3 covers the space of number 3, and just make sure that some of the fabric is extending over the outside edge of the template. Now fold back on line C and trim the excess fabric so that once again you have that 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now, piece number 4 is colour B, and that's the longer rectangle. So now what we want to do is flip our piece over once again to the fabric side, and we're going to take this rectangle and we're going to place it right sides together with the edge that was just trimmed. You can make sure that at the edge here, this fabric, the end of the rectangle, is level with the other fabrics, and once again it will extend past the edge of the template here. So hang on to that template and the fabric and head to the machine to sew. Now sew on line C, only sewing the distance of the line and starting and finishing with that automatic tie-off or a small back stitch at the beginning and end. Turn to the blank side, open out the rectangle, smooth out that seam and press. Turn to the printed side and make sure that the rectangle covers all of space 4, and it also extends over the edge by about 1/8 of an inch. Now, next thing is to fold back on line D. Trim away the excess fabric so you're left with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now flip over to the fabric side and take a small background rectangle. Place that in space number 5 and just make sure that this triangle mimics the shape of the triangle of the template, and now place that right sides together with our fabric edge. Once again, making sure this edge is nice and level here, and we have the excess extending over this side of the template. So hang on to those pieces and head to the machine to sew. Now sew on line D, sewing from one side of the template to the other side. Fold the triangle over to the right side, finger press the seam and then press with the iron. From the printed side, make sure that fabric number 5 covers all of space number 5. Now our final piece we're going to sew is number 6, which is also another background triangle. So fold back on line E, trim away the excess fabric so you have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Turn to the fabric side, take that triangle and place it right sides together with the edge of the fabric that was just trimmed, and head to the machine to sew. Now sew on line E, sewing all the way from one side of the template to the other side. Now press. So this is looking great. This is our first FPP unit, but there's one final step and all we have to do is just trim around the outside edge of the template. So make sure you trim level with the outside of the template. Don't trim on this line because otherwise you'll trim away your seam allowance. So there is a little bit of wastage when it comes to FPP, but I've been really mindful to minimize the amount of wastage that there will be. So these tiny little slithers, they'll probably have to get thrown in the bin. But these corner pieces, save those for a crumb quilt. So go ahead and make another 4 units in exactly the same way. And now we're going to join those units together. So if you've ever done one of our courses with us before, we're not glue basting with this because we want to press these seams open. So basically take 2 pieces and place them right sides together. We're actually keeping the paper on at this point in time. That's going to stabilize the edge and just help us to line the pieces up nice and accurately. So 2 pieces right sides together. We're not going to pin or glue, we're just going to use some of these little clips, so the wonder clips or quilt clips as they're also known, and just making sure that everything is lined up as best as possible, just like that. So if you want to test that everything's lined up exactly, just put a pin through this intersection and bring it out on the other side. And I can see that that is quite good. Just adjust if you have to. And do the same to the other 2 pieces, just using the clips to hold those pieces together. Okay, so I have my units held together in pairs using the quilting clips. And now to sew this, we're going to sew almost like a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, but this is where we're going to sew slightly outside the marked line. So only just slightly outside. And this is just going to give or allow extra room for our pieces to be able to press open, and hopefully our blocks are going to finish at 9.5 inches square. So just sew all the way, starting at the top of a section, all the way down, chaining across to the next pieces and continuing on just like that. So I've sewn my pieces and we've sewn all the way from here down, we've chained across straight onto the next piece, sewing slightly outside the marked line. Now the moment of truth, let's open up and see if our seams align. Well, that one's quite good, quite happy with that. And I'm quite happy with that one too. So now turn over to the wrong side and press the seams open. So we don't want to remove all of the paper at this stage, but just remove this little bit from the seam allowance. This is going to be the center of the block, and when we sew that seam, it's just going to be too hard to remove the paper once we've sewn that seam. So just get in, remove that little bit. At this point in time, you can probably come back a little bit further just on the seam here and here, and then just do the same to the other side. Just use some tweezers too, that makes it a little bit easier. And just like that. And now we're going to join the 2 halves of the block together. So once again, place the pieces right sides together. And this is going to be referred to as the pin trick. We are going to use 1 pin. We're going to pop it in a 1/4 inch away from the edge, pretty much aligned with those lines of our template. And then the same thing on the other side. And then squeeze the pieces together and come back up to the top. So that's going to align our center seams. And then to hold the rest of the layers together, once again I'm going to use those quilter's clips and work from the center to the outer edges. And just like that. You can also use a leftover scrap as a leader. So just fold that in half like that, and we just use the leader to start sewing on that before we continue onto the seam of the FPP units. Now the moment of truth. Let's see. All points are lining up and I'm happy with that. Okay, so now it's time to remove the paper. Take your time with this. It's not as hard as what you think. Sometimes you'll pull on the fabric a little bit and the paper will just want to pop out. I find that taking your time and removing full pieces is going to stop getting those little pieces stuck in the corners. And I find that when you remove the paper from one side of the stitching line, on the other side it automatically just wants to come away quite easily. So use tweezers and, as I said, take your time with it. Any little bits that are stuck in the stitching line, look, they can stay because they will just get washed away when the quilt is washed. So once the paper's removed, give the block a final press, so pressing those center seams open, and then measure the block and you'll see that it will measure 9.5 inches square. If it doesn't, that's totally fine. That's why we're sewing the borders on, and the borders will bring the block up to the correct size, but you're going to find that it's going to be pretty spot on. Okay, so let's get those borders sewn on. When you go to sew the borders on, so side borders first of all, make sure you pin, so pin at the top, at the bottom and in the middle, and then sew the borders on. You may find that you might need to use a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you're not sure what that is, we do actually have a blog post that we'll give you a link to so you can read all about that. Once those side borders are sewn on, press the seams out, then sew the top and bottom borders on in the same way. And anything you didn't get, there's step-by-step instructions in the course notes.
And that is our introduction to foundation paper piecing for the secret path. We'll see you in the next episode where we take a deeper dive into quilting your blocks. Have fun making your blocks and don't forget to share your progress with us along the way.